All right, I see you guys. Go ahead and comment where you're watching from. I'm excited about today's live. We're going to talk about probably one of the most important topics on the planet right now, time management and productivity, how to claim some of your freedom back, because I really believe having true freedom is priceless and it's the ultimate leverage. And I want to share with you what I've learned about productivity. So welcome. Go ahead and comment where you're watching from. We're going to talk about productivity today. And I want to start with what productivity means to you. So share below, what does productivity mean to you? There's so many different definitions and there's so many different ways to describe productivity, but I'd love to figure out from you what productivity means. Because for me, it means getting the result you want, right? And helping yourself live a life on your terms. That's what productivity means to me, is living a life on your terms, your own way. So let's dive in. Go ahead and comment where you watch from. What's up, guys? Peter Voogd here live. Wanted to share some of my breakthroughs on productivity with you. And I remember back in 2011, coming home after a 15-hour day, exhausted, stressed. I'm discouraged. I'm feeling like I'm burnt out. And I had just dropped out of college, out of business school actually, to start my own business. And I was spending every waking minute trying to figure out how to make this business thing work. I could not figure out time management. No matter how many hours I worked, I could not seem to get ahead or build any momentum. And I heard something that totally transformed my entire way of thinking and kind of ripped up the script I've been taught. And almost everything I learned up to that point about productivity had been dead wrong. And this statement caused me to go from working 80 plus hours a week with no results, no freedom, to working 30 hours a week with 4 times the results and 6 figures 6 months later. And I'm going to share that in a second, but I want to make sure I'm talking to the right group. Are you someone who values time with their family? Are you someone who wants to get better at procrastination? Maybe it's someone in your family or someone close to you that you've been talking to about time management, not wasting so much time, not waiting till the last minute, or claiming really some of your freedom back for your family. Trust me, I've been there. And I remember being stressed out, overwhelmed, discouraged, feeling like I was working so many hours and my to-do list kept growing and growing and growing. I feel like I let my family down at the moment. I had no energy. I remember the reason I got into business was freedom, and I had none of it. I felt like my business was running me versus me running my business. And I made the mistake of listening to society at the time. And if you ask society for advice, it's wrong about 99% of the time, because the majority is always wrong. Those who go against the grain are usually the ones who thrive. And that's more important than ever right now in this crazy time. So I asked people, I'm not getting results. I'm struggling in business. What do I do? And they kept saying, just work more, work harder, work more, grind, hustle. So I would just work more hours. And I got even more burnout, and that caused me to almost give up. So the advice I got was dead wrong. And I heard that statement, work harder, and I was physically maxed out. I couldn't work anymore. And then I saw people around me. I saw people when I was studying that were working less hours, getting better results. And then I heard this statement and changed my life. If you're just watching, welcome. We're talking about the power of productivity, how to get more done in less time, and how to be effective and efficient, because most people are wasting time right now and not getting big things done. And the statement that changed my life, go ahead and comment where you're watching from as well. I love to see where you guys are watching from. Let me see who we got. What's up, guys? What's up, Chris, Horace, Rant, North Carolina in the house. I love it. The select few who want to get better at productivity. I tweeted yesterday, more people would rather escape reality. No one wants to learn about how to better themselves. They'd rather escape reality, watch sports, watch Netflix. Netflix is making millions. The actors are making millions. And the people watching it are going broke. So much respect to you for actually investing in yourself and educating your mind, while most people escape reality. And here's the problem with escaping reality. When you come back to it, it's always worse. Let's get to my statement. This changed my life and caused me to now have massive success and freedom. And I'm humbled, but my goal is to share that with you. And here's the statement. It's not about working harder or smarter anymore. It's about working right. And I realized at that moment, I knew people who worked extremely hard that were dead broke and had no freedom. And I knew people that were working extremely smart that were dead broke and had no freedom. So it's not the hours you work, it's the work you put in the hours. And from that moment forward, I became obsessed with time management and productivity and buying speed and understanding that it's not the hours I worked, it's what I put in the hours. I was able to triple my results, almost quadruple my results in more than half the time, and had more freedom, more energy, and more peace of mind. And I realized this at the highest level when I was burnout and broke that I needed to change. So I'm gonna share with you the 5 biggest shifts I made and the biggest breakthroughs in productivity. I'm actually gonna share from my time management productivity blueprint. This is kind of my vault where I pull back the curtain and share everything about productivity. So I'm gonna kind of be sharing from this as well, because this is my entire blue book and playbook on how I was able to go from broke to kind of building a lifestyle on my terms, traveling the world, speaking with some of the biggest speakers. And this year we've traveled, my son just turned 1, which I'll tell you, I never really truly valued time till I had a son. If you have a son or daughter, you know what that means. This is even a challenge getting on Facebook because he's up with the wife right now. We're headed out. We're in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which is pretty amazing. I want to show you guys the view in a second. But I finally understood the power of time management. We've been to 11 states in the last 8 or 9 months during this crazy time, during this pandemic, while having a record-breaking year and record-breaking months, all because I understand the power of time management. And you see this all around. Sometimes you engage in it. I have in the past. Pretty much every minute of every day, you see people putting in 50, 60, 70, 80 hours, running around while not getting much done. They're like the Tasmanian devil. They're all over the place, stirring up their own little tornadoes. But when the dust settles, there's nothing to show for it. I've realized that being busy sometimes is a form of laziness, lazy thinking, indiscriminate action. Being overwhelmed as often as unproductive as doing nothing, and is way more unpleasant. A lot of entrepreneurs I know think they can solve big problems by just throwing more hours at it. They try to make up for intellectual laziness with forceful action, and it doesn't work. It rarely results in actually solutions. So being selective, taking on more action is the path to being more intelligent. Action is the path to being more productive. Most people aren't productive because they're just working all the time. In reality, it's actually the opposite. You need to be working right. That's based on your strengths, your values, your industry, and what's working and relevant now. So being productive is about using your time as efficiently and effective as possible, whether you're in business or whether you're working on tasks at home. So the first thing I had to understand, which is really the step 1, and by the way, if you want to follow along, if you want this productivity, it's 32 pages. It has my Game Changers 30-day challenge. It has an implementation guide. You can go to gamechangersmovement.com/blueprint. My team just made it available for 24 hours. If someone could put the link below, that'd be awesome. gamechangersmovement.com/blueprint, I believe. So I had to shift from complexity to simplicity. And I had to tell myself, I will be disciplined instead of working all the time. Most people aren't disciplined with what they take action on, so they have to work all the time. So first, I want to talk about why most people are struggling with productivity. They take on too much information and they study, they learn, they study, they learn, they study. Instead of focusing on mastery, they're just focusing on information and learning, and they're overwhelmed. And when they're overwhelmed, you seek distraction. Second thing is people don't know how to say no. They take on too much. Tim Ferriss taught me something years ago, and I'll never forget it. He said, Peter, you have to be okay with not responding to people. And that was a big game changer for me. Stop taking on too much. Have a strict criteria for what you take on and say yes to in your life. Okay. Another reason I think people aren't productive is they're not clear on exactly what they want. They have fuzzy thinking, and fuzzy thinking equals fuzzy results and fuzzy motivation. So keep in mind, you got to be crystal clear on what you want. And when you study too much without executing things that can help your business, you become overwhelmed, right? So when I got crystal clarity, everything was easier for me, right? Another key is actually figuring out what's killed your momentum in the past. So for me, what I had to do was just ask myself, what's killed my momentum, right? These are the most common things that have killed momentum. Distractions, social media, notifications, phone calls, multitasking, lack of planning, bad environment, family and friends, right? Shopping, alcohol, drugs. If you don't have a plan to interrupt your interruptions, your plans will always be interrupted. So you have to ruthlessly eliminate all distractions and not plan what you're thinking about getting done or what you're going to try to get done. Plan what you're actually committed to getting done. No questions asked. So my phone, I don't have any notifications. I haven't answered my phone without knowing the number for probably 5 years. This is a powerful tool, or it could be the most destructive tool on the planet. People make millions from this. Speaking of millions, if you guys see crypto's going nuts right now. It's kind of fun. And it's actually fun watching the people that didn't believe in crypto now jump on. So anyways, you can make millions from your phone, but it could also cost you millions and depression. So you have to be in control of your phone, not let your phone control you. So what's killed your momentum? And then create a prevention plan for what's killed your momentum, right? I'd love to hear below. Is there anything that you guys would be willing to admit that's killed your momentum in the past? You have all this momentum, you're fired up, you're excited, you start this new venture, you start a business, and bam, you get punched in the face. What happens? What happened? You have to put something in place so you don't have that same thing happen again. That's the foundation of productivity, is figuring out where you've been distracted in the past. Huge key, okay? Next, you have to follow a system. I call this systemizing my growth. But if you don't have a system you follow, the amount of stress you have in your life and business is in direct correlation to the lack of systems you have in place. You have to follow a system. I would figure out a time management course to buy. I would figure out a mentor that could help you. I did every course I possibly could, known to man, hired mentors, because I was absolutely horrible at time management. But after relentless study and being in the trenches and trying things, seeing what stuck and seeing what didn't, and hiring the best possible coaches, I finally understood. And these are the things I'm talking about. So always have a system. Now let me talk about what systemizing your growth means. The world's highest achievers don't leave their growth and success up to chance. I think someone asked, if you want this blueprint, my productivity mastery blueprint, which is something that I created within the last couple of years, and it just got finished probably 8 months ago. It's 32 pages of my best productivity practices, and also has an implementation plan, gamechangersmovement.com/blueprint. So the world's highest achievers don't leave their growth up to chance or moods or feelings. They build systems to ensure each week, each month, each year is better than the one before, right? If you want to do anything in your life on a consistent basis, you can't leave it up to chance, moods, or feelings. And any decision you make when you're not in the right state of mind is usually the wrong decision, and it causes people to get way off track and not be productive. The world's most productive people make decisions off standards and principles, not moods or feelings. So here's the simplest way to make this happen in terms of growth. I have daily, weekly, monthly, and 60-day checkups. So daily, 5 minutes in the morning, I just ask myself, what am I grateful for? What am I excited about? What does the perfect day look like? And what are 1 to 2 things I'm committed to making happen today? No questions asked. 5 minutes, that's it. I commit to it, whether I feel like it or not. 5 minutes at night, what did I get done? What went well? When was I happy today? Did I follow through on my word? If not, what can I do tomorrow to make it happen, right? That's daily. Keeps me on track. Weekly for 1 hour. On Sundays usually, I plan my week. I invest my previous experience into my future preparation. The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. So I start planning. I plan my week. I get in the right state of mind, and I think about what needs to get done. What are my highest value activities, my highest profit producing activities, and I put those in my schedule. Now, there was a story about Michael Jordan. He averaged almost 30 points a game his whole career. And any game that he had lower than 15 points, his next game, he averaged 45. And this inspired me because I thought about it. He never had 2 bad games in his entire career, whole career. If he had a bad game, next game 45. What did he do after the game? He studied, he went to the gym, he shot more, he looked at tape. He was relentless in making sure the next game, he was an absolute killer. That's why he's the greatest to ever live. Now, entrepreneurs should do the same thing. You should never have 2 bad weeks in a row, especially in a pandemic when people are counting on you, right? You should never have 2 bad weeks in a row, 2 bad months. What do you do when you're not prepping and thinking things through and see where you made mistakes, right? So what I don't understand is some people have bad years in a row. If you have a bad year, you should do everything you can to figure out exactly what you did wrong and course correct and do the opposite, right? So the key here is making sure that you invest your previous mistakes into future intelligence and preparation. Then monthly, at the beginning of the month, for a couple hours, I do a monthly review. All the exact questions I ask, by the way, are in here if you want to check it out. But I do a monthly review, and then I do a 60-day reality check where I reality check myself, make sure I'm getting results, make sure I'm focused on the right activities, make sure I don't hang out with any toxic people or people that distract me. I'm making sure I'm with the right people that allow me to be my most creative and best self in life and business, okay? So that's a huge key. Once I do that, I 80-20 everything, and I figure out, okay, what can I delegate? Because 20% of all your activities account for 80% of your results. 20% of all your unhappiness, or 80% of all your unhappiness and stress and frustration comes from 20% of people, right? So now I 80-20 everything, and then I ask myself, I have a delegation rule. If someone can do something 80% as good as me, I delegate it to them, right? And the questions I ask myself is, what should I not be doing? What can't I do? And what don't I want to do that I can delegate? Because you should be only working in your area of genius as well, okay? And realize that if you're taking on activities that don't have a purpose, that are drudgery, it's the drain of all energy and wealth. Lastly, I'll share this and we'll do some Q&A. You as the CEO, you as the entrepreneur in charge, you as the sales professional, you as the leader of the team, you should only be doing things that produce growth in your business. Everything that's maintaining your business should be delegated, systemized, or deleted. Let me say that again. If you're only doing things that maintain your business, you just have a job. And you know what job stands for? Just over broke. And jobs are getting slashed and killed right now because of the economy. The only security we have is our confidence in ourselves and our ability to make things happen, right? So you want to make sure that you have an opportunity to do the most important things that produce growth well, because doing something unimportant doesn't make it any more important. Doing something unimportant well doesn't make it any more important. And for me, when I do things that don't have a purpose, it kills my peace of mind, my productivity. So anytime something comes on my desk, I ask myself, is this going to increase my peace of mind or take it away? Is this going to contaminate my freedom or take it away? Is this going to contribute to my results in income or take it away? You have to have a filter system and you have to systemize your growth. Does that make sense? So that's the biggest key is understanding you only have 24 hours in a day. And the difference between the wealthiest people on the planet and those struggling is how they spend their 24 hours. I can look at your schedule. You show me what you do on a 24-hour basis. I can predict the next year or two of your life, right? So that's why it's important to don't let your success be up to circumstances or moods. Systemize your growth and put those things in your schedule so you can guarantee results and not have 2 bad weeks in a row like Michael Jordan. Huge key, right? Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff in this book. I'm not going to share everything with you. So let me simplify the master plan. Get clear on what you want. Identify your biggest productivity killers. All mine that I've had and how I identified them and how I created a prevention plan is in here. Identify your biggest profit producing activities and value actions. The most important value actions and profit producing activities in business, these have changed over the years, but the ones most relevant to now are in this blueprint. Learn how to maximize and seize each day. Execute the delegation rule and the 3 lists of freedom, which is what shouldn't you be doing, what can't you do, and what you don't want to do. Create a support system and an inspiring environment, and redo this blueprint every 30 days. And I think you'll see massive, massive results and success. So do you guys have any questions regarding productivity? Because real freedom is priceless. Being able to travel the world with my family and not be tied to something, and realizing that if you only make more money when you work more hours, you'll never have true freedom. The best thing you can do is structure and position your life to where nothing can be taken from you and you're in control of your future. And that takes productivity and time management. That's it. That's what it takes, is understanding these things and not taking on anything, and having very clear criteria for what you take on. And then one more thing, and then we'll do some Q&A. If I even have time, hold on. Before I take anything on, I also sell myself. I sell myself to make sure this is the best possible thing I can do right now. If I'm not sold on it, I simply say no. I don't take it on. So only sell yourself on 2 or 3 things per week and say no to everything else. And you want to make sure these 2 or 3 things you sell yourself on are the best possible use of your time. They're connected to an outcome and an actual result. Huge key. What up, Art? What up, Joseph? What up, Nick? Chad? Nikazi? Cool name. There's the link right there. What up, Scott from Flowtown? Chris, good to see you guys. So that's productivity in a nutshell. Understanding what you want and figuring out what you're willing to give up to get what you want. That's the game, guys. That is the game. Let me show you the view. This place is super cool. We're in the mountains of Wyoming, and then I'll let you guys go. The vibes here are amazing. I don't even know if you guys can see it. Can you guys see it? Snow. Got a little hot tub down there. So my challenge to you is this: do everything you can, guys. Before I slip, that would be funny if I slip live. Do everything you can to create a life and a business on your terms. Whatever you have to do to stay in control of your future, to not let someone else tell you what you're worth, when to show up, when to leave, whatever you have to do, I'd find a way. And I want this blueprint to help you as well. So gamechangersmovement.com/blueprint. Let me know if you have any questions. I am here to help you. I want to continue helping you be as productive as humanly possible. But you got to value time, you got to value freedom, and you got to value family overall. You couldn't pay me $100 million to put me on a schedule and tell me what to do. I value freedom too much, and I hope you do too. Have an amazing rest of your day. Comment below where you're watching from. Oh, also, a couple people that choose to share this and comment, I'm going to cash up some of you guys, and I'm going to give you some signed copies of my book. So just for those that share it, let's spread the word. Let's create some positivity. Appreciate you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll talk.